Good evening. Let's start the daily discussion. The first topic that we take up today regarding Indian Stamp Bill 2023. Indian Stamp Bill. So the centre has proposed repealing the Indian Stamp Act 1899, the British period legislation, and bring in a new law for the stamp duty regime in the country. Okay, that is okay. In this context, recently the Ministry of Finance invited suggestions on the draft Indian Stamp Bill 2023 from the public. Stamp duty. So whatever the stamp duty, okay. So stamp duty is essentially a government tax which is levied to register document like an agreement or transaction paper between two or more parties with the register. Usually the amount specified is fixed based on the document's nature or is charged at a certain percentage of the agreement value stated in the document as per the agreement value, depending upon the value of the particular item. Okay, the amount specified is fixed based on the document's nature or is charged at a certain percentage of the agreement's value like the land, etc., stated in the document. Stamp duty can be levied on bill of exchange, check, promissory notes, bill of lending, letter of credit, policies of insurance, transfer of shares, debentures, proxies, and receipts. Valid evidence is a court of law. It is valid as evidence in the court of law. Stamp duty are accepted as valid evidence in a court of law. Appropriation of the stamp duty. Stamp duty are levied by the centre but appropriated by the concerned state within their territory under Article 268 of the Constitution. That means the tax is imposed by the central government but is appropriated by the states, and this is a income for the state government. Fine. Indian Stamp Bill 2023. Okay, the Indian Stamp Bill 2023 is a draft bill prepared by the Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance. Okay, the bill aims to replace the Indian Stamp Act 1899 and align it with a modern stamp duty regime. Need for the new bill. Several provisions of the Indian Stamp Act 1899 have now become redundant or inoperative. For instance, there was a lack of provision for digital e-stamping in the 1999 Act because that e-stamping mechanism was not available, okay, by the time when the Act was passed in 1899. Also in the earlier Act, there is lack of uniform legislation for all Indian states regarding the stamp duties. In 1899 Act extended to 30 states and union territories combined, while 6 states followed their own stamp acts and rules. Okay. It defines electronic stamp or e-stamp as an electronically generated impression denoting the payment of stamp duty by electronic means or otherwise. There are also provisions for digital signature. Digital or electronic signature refer to the authentication of an electronic record by a subscriber through an electronic method or procedure. The draft bill also proposes to raise the penalties. It seeks to increase the maximum penalty amount from 5,000 to 20,000 for contravening any provisions of the law and imposes 1,000 per day for the repeated offences. Indian Stamp Act 1899. The Indian Stamp Act 1899 is a fiscal or money-related statute that laid down the law relating to tax levied in the form of stamps on instruments recording transactions. Section 2 of the Act said that an instrument referred to any document that creates, transfer, limits, extends, ends, or records a right or liability. According to the Act, a stamp means any mark, seal, or endorsement made by a person authorized by the state government. This definition also covers adhesive or impressive stamps used to charge duty under the Act. Okay. So section 2 of the Act says that instrument refer to any document that creates transfer limit, extend, needs, records a higher or a right or liability. According to this Act, stamp means any mark, seal or endorsement made by a person authorized by the state government. This definition also cover adhesive or impressed stamps used to charge duty under this Act. Section 3 of this Act prescribes that certain instruments or documents shall be chargeable with the amount indicated in the Schedule 1 of the Act. This includes bills of exchange or promissory note also. RBI action against the Paytm. So next topic. So the Reserve Bank of India banned Paytm Payment Bank Limited from accepting fresh deposits and making credit transactions from March 2024. The decision essentially bars Paytm Payment Bank from offering all its core services, including accounts and wallets. While the action is technically not a cancellation of Paytm Payment Bank's license, it practically constricts the company's operation to a great extent. What is a payment bank? So, based on the recommendation of Achiket Moore Committee, Paytm Bank was established by the RBI. Payment banks were established in 2014 as a part of banking inclusion. It was set up to incorporate a similar scale while minimal credit risk. The main objective is to advance financial inclusion by offering banking and financial services to the unbanked and underbanked areas, especially in the unbanked area. It was set up to help the migrant laborers force, low income households, small entrepreneurs to go for a digital transaction. Paytm Bank in India currently have 6 payment banks: Airtel Payment Bank, Indian Post Payment Bank, Fino Payment Bank, NSDL Payment Bank, and Jio Payment Bank. They are hello. Online They are differentiated and not universal bank. These operate on a small scale. It needs to have maximum paid up capital up to 1000 crore. Okay, the minimum initial contribution of the promoter to the payment bank to the paid up equity capital shall be list to be 40% for the first 5 years from the commencement of its business. Activities that can be performed by the payment bank. The payment bank is a financial service company that cannot accept more than 2 lakh in deposit per account. It is not allowed to lend directly but can sell loans products. It cannot lend directly. It cannot issue credit card. It has not allowed to lend directly. It can promote other third-party loan products. Payment banks are permitted to make personal payment and receive cross-border remittances on a current basis or current account. It can issue debit cards but not credit cards. Okay, then what is the RBI action against the summary of this? So why RBI has taken action against the payment bank? RBI has asked Paytm Payment Bank to stop accepting money in any customer account, including wallets and other prepaid instruments such as the FASTag or any other instrument from March 1st. RBI attributed this action to persistent non-compliance of continued material supervisory concern, warning further supervisory action. What does the RBI direction say? Bad Paytm Payment Bank from offering practically all of its key services. Paytm cannot accept deposit or top up in any customer account, prepaid instruments, wallets, FASTags, national common mobility cards, etc. after February 29, 2024. Account to be terminated. RBI said that nodal account of parent company, the 197 Communication, which is the parent company of Paytm Payment Bank, and Paytm Payment Service should be terminated at the earliest and not later than February 29th. Settlement of all pipeline transactions and nodal accounts. Settlement of all pipeline transactions and nodal accounts in respect of all transactions initiated on or before February 29th should be completed by March 15th, and no transactions shall be permitted thereafter. So, by that, no transaction will be permitted by the RBI for the Paytm Payment Bank. Okay, so settlement of all pipeline projects. Okay, Settlement of all pipeline transactions and nodal accounts in respect of all transactions initiated on or before February 29 should be completed by March 15th. Customers are allowed to withdraw or use the money. Customers can withdraw or use the money from their Paytm accounts, including savings and current accounts, prepaid instruments, hashtags, NCNC, etc., freely as long as they do not extend their available balance. That can continue. Paytm Payment Bank has been facing RBI scrutiny since 2018. As the central bank did not specify the exact reason for the latest action against Paytm, experts believe it could be due to the RBI concern on KYC compliance and IT-related issues. The central bank is against allowing any institution or banking entity to expose depositors' money to such risk. It has been discovered that Paytm Payment Bank and its parent company, the 197 Communication, were investigated by the RBI because they did not have enough barriers to protect information within the group. Additionally, China-based entity, which is indirectly owned a stake in the parent company, had access to data which raised concern in India. Okay, then the next topic is the Bharat 5G portal. Recently, the Secretary, Department of Telecommunication, Ministry of Communication launched the Bharat 5G portal, an integrated portal on the sideline of the Bharat Telecom 2024. It is a comprehensive platform serving the interest of the startup industry and academia in quantum, 6G, IPR, and the 5G domain. It also features the Future Tech Experts Registration portal in collaboration with the VANIK-IAS, aimed at helping and used to help and advise the Indian telecom ecosystem to advance the goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat. That as a one-stop solution for all quantum IPR pilot 5G and 6G related work, capturing academic R&D development, industry standards, OEMs, startups, MSME, and the subject matter experts. It aims to propel India's 5G capabilities, foster innovation, collaboration, and knowledge sharing within the telecom sector. Other 5G related initiative in India: Prime Minister of India in the India Mobile Congress awarded 100 5G use case lab to educational institutions across the country to build competencies and engagement in 5G technology for students and startup communities. All the 100 plus lab institutions are connected through a dedicated portal, the digital network digital network of the 100 5G labs. It acts as knowledge dissemination platform for the institution, students, startup, wherein 5G use cases are being tested and developed. Telecommunication Consultant India Limited is an implementary agency for installation of the 100 lab and portal development. Next is the Maratha military landscape in India. The Maratha military landscape of India will be in India's nomination for recognition as UNESCO World Heritage List for the year 2024-25. The Maratha military landscape of India, which developed between 17th and the 19th century by the Maratha kings, represent an extraordinary fortification and military system envisioned by the Maratha rulers. This extraordinary network of force, varying in hierarchies, scales, and typological features, is a result of integrating the landscape, terrain, and physiographic characteristics distinctive to Sahyadri mountain range, the Konkan coast, Deccan plateau, and the Eastern Ghat in the Indian peninsula. The 12 component part of the nomination are Salar Fort, the Sivenri Fort, the Lohgarh, the Kanderi Fort, the Riagarh, Rajgarh, Pratapgarh, Subendradurg, Panala Fort, the Vijayadurg, Sindhudurg, and the Maharashtra, and the Guinea Fort in Tamil Nadu. Among these, the Salar Fort, the Sivenri Fort, the Lohgarh, the Raigarh, the Rajgarh, the Jingi Fort are all hill forts. Pratapgarh is a hill forest fort. Panhala is a hill plateau fort. Vijayadurg is a coastal fort, whereas the Kandai Fort, Subendradurg Fort, and the Sindhur Fort are the island forts. The inception of the Maratha military ideology dates from the 17th century during the reign of the Maratha king Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj by the 1670 CE and continued through the subsequent rulers until the Peshwa rule, because after the Maratha, their Prime Minister Peshwa took over the administration. Till 1818. The UNESCO World Heritage List in India. At present in India, there are 42 World Heritage Sites, out of which 34 are cultural sites, 7 are natural sites, and whereas 1 is a mixed site. In Maharashtra, there are 6 World Heritage sites, 5 cultural and 1 natural. Rajanta Caves, Ellora Caves, Elephanta Cave, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus, formerly known as the Victoria Terminus, Victorian Gothic and Art Deco Ensemble Mumbai, the Western Ghat of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala in serial property in the natural category. Then the Eraviculum National Park. The Eraviculum National Park, the natural habitat of the Nilgiri Thar, will soon be closed for the calving seasons of the species. Location is located along the Western Ghats in the Idukki district of Kerala. Dedicated to a national park in 1978. The park covers an area of 97 square kilometers. The highest peak south of the Himalayas, the Anaimudi, is situated on the southern side of the park. This is also the land of the Nilakurinj, the flower that blooms once every 12 years. Climate: the park receives heavy snow showers during the southwest monsoon and retreating monsoon, both in June, July, and in October, November monsoon, and is also one of the wettest area in the world. Vegetation: the major part of the forest peak park is covered with rolling grasslands, but several patches of shola forest are also found in the upper part of the valley. Flora includes the Anti-Daphnolobuli, the Microspora, the Pitosporma, the Tetraspivum. Okay, the solar grassland are exceptionally rich in balsamans, the orchids, including the long thought extinct variety of the Brassicoerythis sugili. The Nilgiri Thar, the gaur, sloth bear, Nilgiri langur, tiger, leopard, giant squirrel, and wild dog are the common species. Okay, so half of the world population of the endangered Nilgiri Thar lives here. The Atlas moth, the largest of this kind in the world, is seen in this park. 140 species of birds, of which 10 are unique to the Western Ghats. More than 100 species varieties of the butterflies have been recorded here. Exercise: the Sadak Tansk. In a major boost to tie the militaries of the India and Saudi Arabia are conducting their first joint military exercise named as the Sada Tansik. It is the inaugural edition of the India-Saudi Arabia joint military exercise, the Sada Tanisk, commenced at the Maharaja in Rajasthan, Mahajan in Rajasthan. The exercise is scheduled to be conducted from 29 January to 10 February 2024. Aim of the exercise is to train troops of both the sides for joint operation in the semi-desert terrain under the Chapter 7 of the United Nations Charter. The exercise will enable both the sides to share their best practices in the techniques and procedures of conducting operations in the sub-conventional domain. It will facilitate developing interoperability, autonomy, and camaraderie between the troops from both the sides. The exercise will involve establishment of mobile vehicles, checkpost, cordon and search operation, house intervention, drill, reflex shooting, seathering, and the sniper firing. The exercise will provide an opportunity to both the contingent to strengthen their bond. Snow leopard: the first scientific survey of the snow leopard in India showed the country is home to 718 of the exclusive cat, the government said recently. Okay, so it is the large long-haired Asian cat classified as either Panthera uncia or uncia in the family Felidae. Geographical range: snow leopards live across a vast area in northern and central Asia, high mountains including the Himalayan region. In the Himalayas, they live in the high alpine area, mostly above the tree line and up to 18,000 feet in elevation. They are found in 12 countries including China, Bhutan, Nepal, India, Pakistan, Russia, and the Mongolia. In India, this in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim. Okay. Okay. So they are found in 12 countries. In India, it is seen in Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, okay, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, and the Arunachal Pradesh. Features measuring from nose to tail, the length of an average adult is 1000 to 1300 cm. They have thick gray and yellow tinger. Okay. Tinged fur with solid spot on their head, neck, and lower limbs, and roosters over the rest of the body. Okay, they also have their long, thick tails that they use for balancing the in rock and wrapping around their bodies while protection from the cold. Their short forelimb and long limbs make them very agile, and they can jump as much as 50 feet in length. They are solitary, and the only prolonged social contact occurs while females are raising their cubs. Conservation status, the IUCN Red List is vulnerable sites in Appendix 1 Wildlife Protection Act in Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act of India. Coming to the question answer, digital divide leads to inequality and disparity. Okay, the digital divide lead to inequality and disparity in society and leads to a problem of. Okay, the digital divide is the gap that exists between the individual who have access to modern information and communication technology and those who lack it. Digital divides exist between developed and developing countries, urban and rural populations, young and educated versus older and the less educated individual, and men and women. In India, the urban-rural divide is the single biggest factor in the digital divide. Consequence of the digital divide, the disadvantage bear the burnt. Children belonging to the economically weaker sections had to suffer the consequences of the not having to fully pursue their education or worse drop out because of the lack of access to internet and computer. They even run the danger of being drawn into child labor or worse, child trafficking. Unfair competitive age, the poor will remain void of crucial information presented online concerning academia, and thus they will always laugh, and this may be summed up by the poor performance. Hence, superior students who can access the internet have an unfair competitive edge over their less privileged counterparts. Disparity in learning, the people in low socioeconomic classes are disadvantaged and have to undergo long hours of cumbersome. Okay. Uh, Cumbersome studies in meeting and objective of the course, while the rich can easily access schooling material online and work on their program in a flash. Decreased productivity among the poor, most underdeveloped countries or the rural area tend to produce half-baked graduates because of inadequate training due to limited research ability, as connectivity to the internet is limited besides having low cadre training equipment. Initiative taken with the promotion of digital education, the PM E-Vidya, a comprehensive initiative called the PM E-Vidya was initiated as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan in May 2020, which unveils all efforts related to digital, online, on-air education to enable multimodal access to education. Swayamprabha, the Swayamprabha is a group of 34 DTH channels, direct-to-home channels, devoted to telecasting high-quality educational program on 24/7 basis using the GSAT 15 satellites. Diksha portal, it was launched for providing a digital platform to teachers, giving them an opportunity to learn and train themselves and connect with the teacher community. It is built considering the whole teacher's life cycle, from the time student teaches, enroll in teacher education institute, and after they retire as teachers. It also provides access to NCERT textbook and lessons following the regular school curriculum. Then the Pragyata, the Minister of Women and Development, releases guideline. So right on the Minister of Education. This guideline on the digital education title Pragyant. Under the Pragyant guideline, only 30 minutes of screen timing per day for interacting with parents is recommended for kindergarten, nursery and preschool schools. Can hold live online class for maximum 1.5 hours per day for class 1 to 8 and 3 hours per day for class 9 to 12. Even though schools are now reopening gradually due to the receding curve of the pandemic, the need to provide adequate computer-based equipment together with access to online facility for children is utmost important. Okay. A solution has to be devised at all levels of the government, state and center to ensure that adequate facilities are made available to children across social strata so that access to education is not denied to those who lack resources. Then coming to the MCQs. So, reference to Padma Awards, the awards are under the aegis of the Minister of Home Affairs. That's right. All Padma Vibhushan is the highest in the head of the Padma Awards. Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan the highest. All nominations received for the Padma Awards are placed before the Padma Award Committee constituted by the Prime Minister every year. Right. Government servants, including those working with the publisher, are eligible for those awards. No, only 1, 2, 3 means one each. 3 are correct. Which of the following is the primary principle behind the dynamic wireless charging DWC technology of electronic? So it is inductive charging while in motion. So while the vehicle is in motion, it will be inductive charging. Answer is the B. The report Electricity 24 was recently released by which of the following? It was released by the International Energy Agency. So International Energy Agency A. Regarding leprosy disease, consider the following statement. It is a chronic infection disease caused by a type of bacteria. It is known to occur only in the newly born children. Wrong. It is not an inherited disease but is transmitted via droplets. Right. 1 and 3 are correct. Means only 2 are correct. Okay. So incorrect is 1. So question is how many are not correct? Only 2 is incorrect. Regarding battery means only 1 is incorrect. It is option B or option 2. Regarding battery electric vehicles, consider the following statement. They are a type of electric vehicle that runs solely on electric power stored in the high capacity battery. Okay, right. They have a specially designed internal combustion engine. No, they are electric motors to drive the vehicles. Okay, a wheel providing instant torque and smooth acceleration. Acceleration. So here for question number 5, the answer will be only 2. Regarding the University Grant Commission, it became a statutory organization of the Government of India in 2006. That's right. That is wrong. The commission operates on the Ministry of Education, right? The chairman of the commission is chosen from the officers of the central government or any other government. How many are correct? Only 1 is correct. Okay. 2. Okay. So only 1 is correct. With respect to defense, Lakshya, Nishant and Pushpak, they are all unmanned aerial vehicles, UAV. D. A Central Empower Committee has been in the news in the context of environmental governance. It has been established under which of the following legislation as per the Environment Protection Act 1986. So B. With reference to the blue economy, consider the following statement refers to economic activity related to the sea and the coast, right? Sustainable Development Goal 14 deals with the blue economy. Here both 1 and 2 are correct. The reference to nano DAP, diammonium phosphate, consider the following. Nano DAP enables the fertilizer to enter easily inside the seed surface through stomata and other plant openings. So right. The adoption of nano DAP can reduce the government subsidy burden. That is also right. Here incorrect is none because both are correct. Thank you for watching. Keep watching regularly to update yourself. Thanks a lot.